she's known for her love for cats. Tonight's guest is a cozy, friendly streamer. Her streams are always cozy to watch, and she is super welcoming and very nice to everyone. We've got a lot to discuss tonight as we dive deep into more lore about the channel, what she plays the most, what she's up to, how she got on Twitch, and more. I'm more than happy to welcome Em, aka Emmers with 4 M's on Twitch. Welcome to tonight's episode of Twitch Tea Time.
Oh wow, thank you for having me.
I mean,
you make me blush.
I'm finally happy to say that I think I followed Emmers in 2022, probably, and I've stuck around ever since. So she went from probably a webcam, like with a webcam stream, then to no camera, then to PNG, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I sort of bring back the camera every so often, but I
Yeah.
like being my tiny black cat in a box.
Oh yeah. So the first thing I ask every single guest before I start is, how are you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah.
How are you?
Been a stressful month, but that's cleared up lately. It's okay. Can you tell me about how you discovered Twitch, how you decided to become a streamer, and a little bit about the channel?
I can't remember what I actually found Twitch through, because it was probably 2019, 2020. So I don't know what I would have been doing to find it. Because the only salient time where I knew about Twitch or understood, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense why people would subscribe, was whenever Otstarva was really, really big with Dead by Daylight. He's still very big,
Yeah.
but watching him and all the effort he would put into his streams, I was like, it makes so much more sense why somebody would want to pay them for their time, with his split between YouTube and Twitch. But I did some streams 2019, 2020, that winter time, and I did Elder Scrolls, and I did it was a top-down RPG thing. Oh my god, that is vaguely I'm gonna forget what it was, but it was very fun. And so it's apparently a game people would put hundreds of hours in, and I had played 10 hours, and I was like, yeah, I'll stream this. This will be fun. I might as well. I'm already playing it. And then people were saying so many things to me, and I was like, I don't know half the words you're saying. But Grim Dawn, that's what it is. Grim Dawn.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I started it.
Do you remember the first game you ever streamed?
It would have had to have been ESO or Grim Dawn. It was one of those two, and then I never really have played those ones again.
Okay, yeah. So here's something that's been kind of piquing my curiosity every now and then. Your username is Emmers, Emmmmers. Why the 4 M's?
Because everybody with less M's already took usernames.
Yeah.
Apparently the 2 M's, Emmers, one of my Twitch friends found, and apparently they have said some highly inappropriate things in their highlights, and he was like, do you want me to report it so you can get the 2 M's? I was like, man, I kind of like my 4 M's now.
I mean, you can only request or claim a channel, a username. I think I've been told that if you're a partner, and if the account hasn't been active for a while. So yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah. So you absolutely love cats, and your channel's theme is based around cats. How many cats do you have?
Oh goodness. Right now I have 1. And usually I've had a couple cats at a time. This one is Mr. Kitty, and he's been around for 17 years.
Oh my god.
So he's ancient. Today he stood up, and I wasn't looking at him, but I could tell he stood up because I heard his back pop.
Oh my
and I was like, are you good? And he was just readjusting himself on the little crochet blanket. But in the future, I would probably want to have either a cat cafe or a senior cat rescue. I always wanted to have black cats, so I'm leaning towards having like a black cat rescue through like a cat cafe kind of thing, or just having like a bunch of old cats that nobody is really picking up from the shelters and giving them like a retirement home.
Yeah.
Those are my cat plans.
Yeah, so most people I know, well, not most, like some people I know from Twitch have black cats, and black cats are like frowned upon because like they've been said to bring bad luck at some point, and I absolutely love black cats.
Right? They're so cute.
Yeah.
They're just so good.
Yeah, and so going back on when you said your cat stood up, I was like, I imagine him looking at you and meowing. Could you repeat that? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, so that he does that sometimes. He's really weird in the sense that sometimes he acts like he's ancient, which is fair because he's ancient. And then sometimes he just jumps up on the table and he starts crying because I'm making something with cheese and he's actually addicted to cheese.
Oh, wow.
And that's when he becomes like 10 years younger, whenever he needs to beg for cheese.
I mean, are you sure he's a cat, not a mouse?
I mean, I hope so. I might get kicked out of my apartment if he's a mouse.
I recall at some point you used to have a face cam. Then you switched to PNG or no cam. I know that maybe like comfort reasons, but is there like a main reason that you did that, or did the camera break?
So it ended up being like, there's always like a tiny bit more of a barrier whenever you're using a camera, which I think on the last stream that I saw you with, you had your camera on, so you understand.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that extra bit of like, oh, well, I need to look a certain level of presentable, like a little bit more how I need to look when I go to like the grocery store. Like, you don't have to look fantastic necessarily, but you need to like not bring shame to yourself. And it's a lot easier to just like press live, do a couple of other things if you're just a little PNG popping around rather than having your full face and torso. Because like for me, I have to be wearing like a certain shirt or like wearing certain kinds of pants or like kind of that direction. Make sure the room is slightly picked up so there's nothing questionable in the background, just in case if I the day before came home from work and was just like, fuck it, we ball, and just threw things everywhere. So it's just like that little extra weight that you have to push through. So I prefer the PNG for that reason. But I am a little too expressive. So generally the camera is a little bit better in that sense.
Yeah, I've also used like a PNG tuber, but honestly, sometimes I've looked kind of like shit, and yet I use the camera. I understand your views. Like, it feels different, but when I was against using a PNG or a VTuber, but then when I used it, I was like, I see why. Like sometimes you have the more comfort to do what you want. Like nobody will judge you. Nobody will tell you, for example, like sneak in a snack here, mute your camera, mute your mic or stuff. Yeah.
Very true.
How did you decide on what content you're going to be streaming? Because you switch from cozy games to like pew-pews sometimes.
So I let the ADHD run wild.
Yeah.
So I'm also a librarian, and so like the reason for that tends to come from like a bunch of different things, but like the baseline one, what most people have is like that love of reading, and that kind of propels them in the direction of library science, and then they kind of pick their fields and discover all the other reasons why somebody would be a librarian. So I start off with reading books. So then my main issue with video games, and it's not like an issue, it's just a personal like thing that I can't get past, is storylines in games. Because if I want to read a story, I want to just like open a book, sit in a chair, and just like flip through the pages and like imagine it myself. Versus like I have to be in a whole other kind of headspace to like let a video game tell me the story, because sometimes it's interactive enough where like I get really into it and I'm sucked in. But it's a lot harder to get to that like sucked in state whenever I'm kind of watching it play out instead of making it play out in my head. So for switching between all the games, it just has ended up being like switching from hyperfixation to something else that like for instance with Subnautica, that's not one that I would necessarily play all the time by myself, since it's like a survival crafting, you know? But it's really fun with chat because like they like watching it, and
Yeah,
so
and it
they
has a
like
spooky
me
aspect at some
dying.
point. Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's a lot of games that I have on Steam that I've categorized basically to be like only play with chat, so that it's a little bit more like stimulating for me in that sense, because I don't know about you, but with ADHD, I personally despise any life needing things, like having to brush my teeth all the time.
Yeah.
Literally kills my soul. So any of those like survival type games, unless I am so hyper focused in, I can't do it for very long because it just feels like I'm playing life, and that makes me less interested. So like kind of my reasoning for doing like a bunch of the FPS games is because for each round, like unless you're like, if you're not interested in FPS games, it's a lot harder to kind of see how each round is like very different within like the same realm of possibilities. So it always feels a little bit different. So like Dead by Daylight is very similar to me in that sense, where it's like you're going to always have a bunch of different people in there. So it's never going to be the same round. So then I can fix and do that because it's a little bit different. Versus like Slime Rancher, I can get like really into it just because it's super cute and very fun. But then I have to be like, okay, we're doing the same thing.
And speaking of like Steam and those, Emmers has the most hilarious Steam names. Every now and then I see like, I know it's her because of her like profile picture, but sometimes like the Onion Guzzler or these, I sometimes chuckle at some of them. Like, why do you do that? Is that a thing? Did someone dare you, or?
I just find it really fun. And if Steam ever time, I think I would be sadder than any person feasibly should be. So usually I end up changing them for whatever game I'm like really into, and it's usually an online game, so people can see you in like the kill feeds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I usually do like Apex focused ones. So I've been like Pathy's little oil guzzler to kind of get around like the, I guess, TOS-y type names, but like still being in that way. So it ends up being either lots of puns or just deranged names. They're just fun. I just like it.
Yeah. And speaking of like, since you said like you're a librarian, have you ever thought of doing reading streams? I've seen a lot of people doing it.
I have considered to an extent, because I have done like, I guess, reading to chat whenever we do really, not really big, but like whenever I do my charity streams, usually at this point I have an incentive where we'll read like a and then I have it popped up on screen so I can read it out to them. But I haven't really done a lot of like the co-working streams. I used to do writing ones sometimes, but I don't know if it's more of a like I feel like other people are there with me, which is a positive for some, but like whenever I'm just working on something like that, it feels very like full in my brain, you know? Like feeling like you're being watched, which is like funny to say since you're literally being watched. That's like the whole point. But just not feeling calm enough to do that activity, I guess, is my issue with it. Not that I think it is very nice. I wish I could do it. I have a whole drawer in my office that's just craft things that I want to do with chat, but
arts and crafts, arts and crafts. Yeah. Those are also super fun to watch and super like cozy.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be that has to happen at some point.
Yeah. So what's the funniest, most like surreal and not atrocious in a bad way, but like oh my god kind of thing like chat has ever asked you to do? For example, anything that's kind of funny, but like you never expected that to happen.
That they've asked me to do. Oh my goodness. So usually I'm the one instigating the weird shit, and they're just there for the ride. So we've done like dance parties. So I have a shortcut on my keyboard. I really need to set up my Stream Deck. Speaking of, but I have a shortcut on my keyboard that will pop up a bunch of dancing GIFs. So I would randomly before just like have tiny dance parties for chat. And then I've had to eat horrible pizza that they've
Oh my god.
redeemed for charity. And there was one that I tried to, oh my god, what did I try to do? It was something so stupid that everybody was like, this has nothing to do with the pizza. Oh, I think I tried to make it into kind of like a calzone thing because I had a crescent roll.
Oh my
And I was
god.
like, yeah, this is fine. We'll just shove it all in here. This is all the things you guys requested. And they're like, that has nothing. That's not a pizza. That's a calzone. And I was like, okay, but.
Oh my god.
And I might have made it a little too pie-like. So it was a very cursed, very emotional eating experience. They let me stop. I didn't have to finish it at least. It was horrible.
Yeah. So what are the limits regarding your streams? Like what would get someone's message to be deleted besides being a bot or GFX artist? What would piss you off? What's the big no-no? What's allowed? What isn't?
So for my chat rules, I have it where it's like, if you use like Spanish that I can understand, sure, you can do it. But it's basically anything that nobody knows what you're saying. Like, unless we can have somebody like on the fly, like double checking with, I don't know, at this point it's Google Translate, and then be like, oh, well, we can kind of still interact. That's fine. So that's like the low end is where it's like, I have no idea what you're saying to me. And so then it kind of becomes bot-like where it's like, you might not be a bot, but I have no clue what you're saying. And you could be saying something really offensive. So like if somebody is watching who knows that language and then I'm not banning them or like deleting their chats, then it's like making that person potentially feeling unsafe. But generally, it ends up being all the isms. If you do any of the isms, you're gonna get booted. You don't need to be here. Which I think was a lot harder at the beginning, whenever you don't really have anybody there at all. And then, so like I would play Dead by Daylight, and I remember at some point somebody had like a name that was vaguely like, and I was like, hello? And then I was like, you know what? I don't know where you're going with this, so I'm gonna take you out of here, because you might get weird.
Yeah.
Even if you're just following to stay here. It's like, I don't know what you're gonna do in the future. So it's usually like any of the making people feel uncomfortable or unsafe usually will get you booted.
Yeah. So how many hours per day or week in general do you spend on Twitch?
Oh, so it all depends on who is streaming at the times, because I try to support all the homies and like pull up their streams. So sometimes I'm not necessarily like focused on Twitch, but I'll have it up because I want to make sure, you know, the friends and everybody has like an extra boost in their concurrent viewers. And then generally if it's I've watched like back and forth more or less Twitch over the years. Like whenever ALGS comes on for Apex, I have Nicewig on the TV like as many hours of the day as he is streaming so that he can break down Apex Legends. But overall, it's probably maybe like 20 or less hours a week, I would say.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Even like I myself. No. That's considering that's not a lot actually. Considering how many hours I put in, it's like kind of every waking hour of like my day, I'm on Twitch. So
that's impressive.
Yeah. Even at work, I just keep a lurk tab or I just mod. So yeah.
That's pretty funny. I think I got Twitch banned at my job because I used to have Twitch open.
Oh my god. Nah, if they did that, I don't think they care, but like if they did that at my job, it's gonna be like a revolution.
Yeah, they're gonna catch it on site. Yeah, I think my IT team suddenly realized people were watching Twitch because I had it open all the time because I was modding, at that point, before he ended up, I think, taking a really long hiatus. I had my little mod side open that I would like type in chat and then work on all of my graphics and stuff for work and anything else I had. And then one day I came into work and Twitch was just like IP banned, basically.
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay, it's cool. But I work for a city government, so I don't know what they're
Well,
up to.
yeah,
Maybe
that's more explainable, yeah.
Yeah.
So to the new people out there who just started streaming or are thinking about it, what's one advice you want to give them?
I would say you should check out Canva, even like the free version.
Yep.
Because it is so much more fun to have something special going on with your screen or anything like individual to go with your stream. So I say Canva and Giphy and things like that, where you can just like add it kind of in for free. You can give people their credit in your like about me area. I think I usually have like different artists and whatnot down there if I didn't make it or if I didn't get it through like Canva. Because it's so easy just to make like a be right back screen or something like that, or even just have like a little GIF on the I guess the playing screen whenever you're actually playing the game. I used to have a little bat that would float and pop around, or anything that gives like some kind of visual interest that makes yours stand out from everybody else who's also just starting streaming. So I guess along with that is the make sure you're talking.
Yep. One thing I do is even if I'm playing solo, I narrate or like I just say my reactions. Like for example, today, earlier on, I was playing Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm like, well, Donald is the reason we have subtitles in this game, for example. Like stuff like that. Yeah.
Whatever you want to talk about. Like fun facts, like you said, narrating, like you said, like even just sometimes if I'm just like in a good mood, I sort of just like sing to myself. So it's just whatever makes it so there's a reason for somebody to be there, you know, like a reason why they're not just watching their own or just a straight up gameplay like VOD, like something that's like, oh, well, this is Emmmmers' stream or this is Lucifer's stream. Like this is very specifically them. And I think graphics and talking is like the easiest way to make it very individual.
So this is the second segment. It's like a lightning round / pop quiz about you. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can answer vaguely, you can answer briefly. It's up to you. You can even skip a question if you blank out. I don't mind.
Okay.
All right. So do you mind telling me and the listeners what's one daily routine you have to do?
Okay, so my daily routine that I have to do, I have a border collie. So it is always wake up, take border collie to go pee, and then he gets really antsy if I don't let him go shit immediately. So we have to go pee. And then he pulls me and we have to go to the bathroom. And then I come back in and I make my coffee and I watch some YouTube. And like if I can't do all that, it's a bad morning.
Yeah. So if you ever were to be any object or creature, real or fictional, what would you be and why?
So I used to really want to be a cat. I remember this in like 7th grade. I wanted to be a house cat, but specifically a house cat that has already been fixed so I don't have to go through that emotional toil, just so I get to hang out and be home and sleep and be chill in the air conditioning. I live in Texas, so very important.
Oh, yeah. What's your biggest pet peeve?
Oh, God. My biggest pet peeve, probably people being inconsiderate. Like, it's covers everything, but especially, like, drivers. Again, Texas. So, like, drivers who, like, pull off onto the shoulder to drive off into their exit when it's like, I'm also trying to exit. So what's the purpose of you going illegally out here? Like, we're all trying to do the same thing. So it's a lot of the like not consideration for other people, I think, is my biggest pet peeve.
Yep. What's one thing you cannot live without?
I'm gonna say probably coffee, but that sounds sad. Maybe my cat.
Nah.
Well, he's gonna die soon. Fuck. We'll go with coffee, and I'm gonna lock that one in. We'll just do that.
No worries. So what's your comfort off-stream game?
My comfort off-stream game. At this point, I don't think I play anything I don't also play on-stream. So the only one that I'll play kind of on-stream, and I play mostly off-stream, is gonna be Genshin Impact.
Ooh.
Because you can just zone straight out, and I like the option of just like searching the world for dumb shit. So I am really far behind on the storyline.
Yeah, and I think one of these games, either Genshin or the other one, Honkai, one of them has auto battles, or auto farming. Yeah.
I have like I go in, I take them all out of their little farming rotation. Luckily, they've updated a lot of the like quality of life stuff. So instead of like individual clicking, you can just full take them out and then reapply them. So that's pretty nice. It's pretty chill.
Yep. So what would you do with $1 million?
Oh, with $1 million, I'm off all of my debt, and then probably pay off all the homies' debt that I can get to, or at least a portion. And then I think by that time, that's going to be all of the money.
Okay. Yeah. So since we're speaking about money, what's one thing you spend a lot of money on besides games and books?
Something I spend a lot of money on that's not games and books. Art supplies. I think I'm gonna lock in art supplies or tiny trinkets.
Nice.
Because I delude myself into thinking that I'm gonna use all these art supplies, and I'll probably use a lot of them. But it's the same thing with like if you ever get a new notebook where you're like, I can't ruin this. That's me with the art supplies.
Yeah. So if you had one special superpower, what would it be and why, and how would you use it?
So the superpower that I always go to is like knowing and being able to communicate in all languages. Just because I would like to go travel and be able to talk to people there, like in an actual like conversational way. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the Duggars, like the 19 Kids and Counting people.
No.
So there was this TLC show, like 2010s-ish, that was basically this family of 20 people. Ridiculous. Different story. But they had a commercial that would play, was them going to China. And there was a very salient point in the middle of it where the dad basically was like, does anybody understand English around here? And blah, blah, blah. And I was like, this is the secondhand embarrassment, like, has shot me through time, and I could never be that person. So anyway, languages.
I feel that so hard. Yeah, I'm currently I know like fluent Arabic since it's like my main language, but I also know French. English is my third. I'm strengthening my Spanish, and I'm kind of trying to get in there with Russian. So
that's intense.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your many different directions and intense knowledge.
Trust me,
that's crazy.
Up until today, I am on Duolingo, and I swear to God, I have no clue what I'm doing or saying.
I feel that. And I only know like one in a seventh.
Yeah. So what's one of your all-time favorite songs, or a song that you've been keeping on repeat lately?
Ooh, okay. So one of my all-time favorite songs, I have to. Oh my God. Okay. Let me pull this up. This is. I have to do research here. I don't want to get it wrong.
No worries.
Okay, so Wax Poetic.
Okay.
By Capstan, Capstan, is probably one of my all-time favorite songs. Or it could be Pierce the Veil's I'm Cold and You're Low, or I'm Low on Gas and You Need a Jacket. That's what it is.
Oh my God. I love the names already. So,
and
yeah.
Those are probably top two.
Yeah. So same question, but with movies.
My favorite movie, like in a positive way, is probably gonna be Little Miss Sunshine.
Ooh.
And like the movie that's like stuck with me the hardest is probably Green Room. I don't know if you ever saw Green Room. It hits in like a sad, heartbreaking, scary way.
So final part of the question, same thing, but with TV shows or series. And by TV shows, I mean like talk shows, game shows, etc.
Okay. Probably one of my all-time favorite shows would be, I would say maybe Community is one of them. And then, let's see, I'm trying to think of one that I've actually like went back to rewatch. I would say maybe the one that I reference the most is the final season of oh god, it's the one with Kristen Bell. It's about the afterlife. My brain keeps saying Good Luck Charlie, and that's so not the correct answer. Oh goodness. Well, I can never remember any kind of titles, but anyway, it's the one.
No worries.
But I just love like their take on the afterlife and like what life means, and so like that's probably that just section of it, and how they wrote it to be like 5 seasons and they never pushed past being 5 seasons because they wanted their story to stay, you know, tight and exactly how they intended to tell it. So that is going to be my answer, the one that I don't have a title for.
Yeah, no worries. Remember that you can always skip if you blank out. It's easy, I don't mind. So if you had the chance to switch lives with one celebrity from today for just a day, who would you pick and why?
I don't know if I would want to switch with any celebrities, because like while parts of their lives are probably easier, quote unquote, I don't think I would do well with like the intense, like microscope way that the society looks at people that popular and that big. I mean, maybe I would pick a different, like a streamer or something, maybe, where you don't have to be as intensely followed and people might not necessarily know who that person is outside of like that game community. But I'm gonna say I'll deal with my own problems and not take on somebody else's problems for a day.
Yep. So which of these 3 things would you give up if you ever had to? Money, gaming, or love?
I would say gaming, only because like I never I know it's what I fill my time with now, but I didn't start really playing games until like my mid-20s. So before that, I was doing a lot more writing and reading and art, and I did sports more and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's like I would have other things to do, and I really need money to survive. And I feel like love is never something that you should give up for anything else, honestly.
Yeah. So what's the weirdest habit you've got?
Oh, the weirdest habit I have. Oh my god. I'm gonna say my weirdest habit would probably be that I can't
you can skip
talk and do anything at the same time.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that's gonna be my vote.
Okay. So these are food related questions now. So what's your favorite drink, alcoholic drink of choice, and what's your favorite soft drink of choice?
Alcoholic drink of choice is either gonna be like gin and cranberry juice or gin and lemonade. I like the like astringent flavor of it, or mouthfeel. And then soft drink, probably lemonade. I don't drink anything that's carbonated.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So what's the weirdest food you've ever had?
The weirdest food I've ever had. So I guess in the sense of growing up not really
Mm-hmm.
getting a lot of like non super white American food. Probably the grilled eel or
What?
octopus. Whenever I know.
I've had octopus. It's my worst.
They're not the weirdest things, but like I took my mom to this Japanese restaurant, so I feel like this is very salient for that. It's like
Yeah.
we were so excited to show her this ramen place we went to. So in my 20s and everything, I've gotten like more adventurous with food. We took her here. She didn't like anything on it was like a traditional type of Japanese restaurant. She didn't like the look of anything on there. Whenever we would explain what something was, she would like balk a little bit. And she ended up getting like teriyaki, and she didn't seem happy with it still. So this is where I'm coming from.
Yeah, no worries.
And then having like almost or like raw fish, even like with sushi and stuff like that. That is outside of where I grew up. So I feel like I'm pretty proud of the amount of weirdness. But I would like to try weirder stuff, quote unquote.
Yeah. So why I said I've tried the octopus and it's weird because I've told this story before, and I'll say it again. Heck, we're on episode 50, and there I go rambling again. So my cousin likes to experiment with her food, so she took everything that you put in the curry, like for example, like those what's it called? The curry flavoring, whatever words.
Like the powder stuff?
Yeah, the powder and the taste and everything. And she just poured them onto the rice without the meat, without anything. Instead of that, she put in baby octopuses. And I was taking them out, and then I look away, and then Dad had poured me a plate. And I was like, "Are you sure you took them out?" He's like, "Well, one might be there, but try." I'm like, "Okay, fine." And then one bite in, it's chewy. I'm like, two questions. Why is it delicious? And why is it chewy? And what is that?
Fair.
So, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So what's your favorite comfort food of all time?
So comfort food, I'm gonna sidestep my favorite food of all time to go for grilled cheese and tomato soup with little elbow noodles, because that's what my grandmother used to make. And pro tip, if you ever get like Campbell's tomato soup, it's like vaguely sweet. If you put garam masala in it, it's very warming and it's fucking delicious. So that's my vote.
Nice. I'll keep it in mind, honestly. So can you name me one traditional food from Texas?
Well, we are a stealer of foods. So I guess the most traditional food for me that has to do with Texas is going to be like a Tex-Mex type of thing. So I would vote, honestly, what I think of that whenever I move away from Texas that I'm going to be sad about getting would probably be like down the street at my old house, there's a place that would do like an enchilada plate. So it's the refried beans, the Spanish rice, the tortillas with usually like a red sauce. It could be a bunch of different kinds.
Oh, wow.
And specifically, there was one with shrimp, and it was ridiculously good. So I usually cut it all up because I'm a child. I cut it all up, I mix it all together, and then I get tortilla chips, and I make it all basically like a dip, which is not what people do. And I feel bad about it every time, but it's so good to eat it all at once.
I can imagine that.
Enchilada plate is my answer.
There is no shame in just mixing food up. I mean, it's gonna get mixed in your stomach anyways.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep. All right. So here's the fun part. I've added a fun little mini game before we move on to the mental health segment. So I might require you to write it down because it kind of like can get ADHD tree thingy in between. So because I'm gonna give you 3 options each time. Have you ever played of the game Kill, Marry, Sleep With?
I think yes.
Yes, so this is similar. So in this mini game, I'll name a set of 3 games each time. You'll have to tell me which one you'd play, which one you'd delete from existence, and which one you'd uninstall. That also includes the whole franchise.
Okay.
You have 3 jokers that allow you to either delete all of the games during one of the questions or keep them all. But you cannot uninstall, you cannot keep or delete 2 of them. You're also free to skip any of these if you feel stuck or if you blank out on one.
Okay.
It's play, delete, uninstall. Alright, so Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, and Battlefield.
So I'm gonna say delete Battlefield.
Okay.
And then you said Call of Duty or CS?
Yep.
I'll play CS and I'll uninstall Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
Yeah, CS is actually the mother of these games. Like, it all started with it, because I used to play it as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Here's kind of your field. Here's where your field is. Apex, Fortnite, Valorant.
Okay, I'm obviously gonna play Apex because that's my baby. I'm gonna uninstall Valorant because I've never been more disheartened with my skill level than playing Valorant. And then I'm just gonna delete. You said Fortnite, correct?
Yep, Fortnite.
We're gonna delete Fortnite.
It's gone. It's gone. That's fine. All right, so PUBG, Overwatch, and Halo.
Okay. So I will delete Halo. Because I never played it.
Okay.
I'm gonna play Overwatch because I think I understand that like the people who make Overwatch isn't great, but Diva's really cute. And then let's see, I will uninstall
PUBG.
the third one.
PUBG.
Yes, uninstall PUBG. I played once and it was a terrible experience.
No worries, I can imagine that. So Valheim, Stardew Valley, Minecraft.
We will play Stardew Valley because it's God tier. We'll delete Minecraft because I've literally never played that in my life, and I don't know. I understand that people love it. I don't understand. I can't love it.
Fair enough.
And then I'll just uninstall Valheim. Valheim
enough.
can go live its life.
Fair enough. The Sims, Disney Dreamlight Valley, and Palia. Or Palia.
I'll play Palia. Delete Disney Dreamlight Valley because I don't like Disney people.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
And then I'll uninstall the other one. A Sims.
I honestly blame Donald Duck for that.
That's fair. I am. It's a whole weird thing. I don't know why I can't do it. Maybe it's like I have a thing with fan fiction. So like once it's no longer in its like canonical form, like every time it gets like spread out further, I always get like weirder about stuff. So it's not Disney's fault, but it kind of is Disney's fault.
Yeah, I can see that. So Warframe, The First Descendant, and Once Human.
I'm gonna use the Joker one. I'm gonna delete all of them.
Ooh, nice. First Joker is delete. All right. So Baldur's Gate, Elden Ring, Diablo.
I'm going to delete Diablo.
Okay.
I'm going to play Baldur's Gate because I really need to fuck a few people in that. And then I'm going to uninstall...
Elden Ring.
Thank you, Elden Ring.
No worries. Quake, Doom, and the Elder Scrolls series.
We're going to play Elder Scrolls. We're going to uninstall Quake, and then we're going to delete the last one.
Doom. Okay.
Thank you. Oh. Sorry,
no
Doom.
No worries. I mean, it's Doom.
Rest in peace, Doom. It is. Oh, it's true.
Yeah. So Lethal Company, Content Warning, Among Us.
You know, I will use the other Joker and keep all of them because I feel like the amount of friend groups that just had like a really good time together in all of those games is like, it's worth it. We'll keep them all.
No worries. So Phasmophobia, Demonologist, Devour.
I think we're going to... I'll play Demonologist.
Good
and then
choice.
I'm going to... I think... uninstall Phasmophobia because of all of their stuff that went on, and then I'm just gonna delete Devour, not because it was terrible, but
No worries,
it wasn't as good of a game. I feel like than the other.
All right. Destiny 2, Dead Space, Mass Effect.
Okay, I need to play Mass Effect, so we're gonna just put that one at the top.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna uninstall Destiny 2. It was a good time. I did enjoy it. I think that was one of the games that like got me really into like shooter games. And then I'm gonna delete the other one.
Dead Space. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I'm sorry, Dead Space.
So Visage, Madison, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay. I think I'm going to do uninstall Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay.
And then we'll play Visage, because I've never heard of it, so I want to play that.
Okay.
And then I'll delete Madison. Rest in peace, Madison.
Fair enough. Now, those are zombie games with Dead Island, Dying Light,
Okay.
Left 4 Dead.
Okay, I want to play Left 4 Dead because I think I've only played part of one, and then we'll do uninstall. You said Dead Island? Okay, I'll do uninstall that one, and then I'll delete the other one because I feel like the other two are more iconic.
Yeah.
Rip Dying Light.
Dying
Sorry,
Light has kind of the same people, well, some of the same people that worked on Dead Island, the first Dead Island, because if you notice at some points, some zombies, if not all of them, have either the exact same sounds. Not like I'm saying that because like it can sound different in other games, but like you see the same models and the same exact sounds in Dying Light than the same like in Dead Island. So I reckon.
Crazy.
Yeah. So Don't Starve Together, The Forest, and The Quarry.
Okay, I'm gonna play The Forest because that was a fun time when I did play it with my friend Retro. I'm gonna delete The Quarry because it's a story game, and then I'm just gonna uninstall
Don't Starve Together.
the other one.
It's my favorite game of all times, and don't worry about that.
It's cute.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It is super cute. No worries. It's okay. Like honestly, because you said like top down, because it's kind of like survival crafting, and I'm nearing like a little bit more than 1,000 hours combined, like console and PC in it. So I do have some experience there.
That's fair.
Yeah, Alan Wake, Resident Evil,
Okay.
The Evil Within.
Okay. So I will play Resident Evil because of the variation and iconic status of all the games.
Okay.
I will uninstall, let's see, between Alan Wake and Evil Within.
Yep.
I will uninstall Alan Wake so it still exists, so I can play it at some point. And I'll just delete the Evil Within, and I'm gonna just have to apologize to my ex because he really, really loved that game.
Yeah, just a disclaimer. I think I forgot to explain. Like uninstall, you can play it. Like, if you uninstalled it, you can just go back to it one time, and then you can never go back to it.
I can do that. I'll just have to play it like 12 hours straight.
I mean, yeah.
Just go straight through for a day.
I mean, yeah. Dead Rising, Mortuary Assistant, The Walking Dead.
Okay. I will play Mortuary Assistant because that was a terrifying experience. And then I'll delete the huge franchise one. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, The Walking Dead. And then I'll uninstall the third one.
Dead Rising is a funny, silly zombie game as well.
Is that the one where you have a skateboard?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I switch it. I want to play that one.
Yeah, because at some point I've seen someone just hit the zombies with like a baseball bat. Well, that can be funny. For example, like you can take a light pole and hit them with it. Some of them have like stupid stuff, like you can hit them with their own arm.
Yes,
Which
that
one
will be
you
played.
Uninstall? So uninstall Mortuary.
Yes, that's fine. I can live with that.
All right. Dead by Daylight, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Okay, playing Dead by Daylight because that was the game that got me really, like, I played the most in that game first.
No worries.
So we'll do Dead by Daylight. We will uninstall the clown one because I feel like that one is funny, and I at some point will want to do that. And then I will delete Texas Chainsaw Massacre one because I saw gameplay and I am not enthusiastic.
Yeah, I've been playing Dead by Daylight every now and then, but I don't enjoy it, honestly.
That's fair. Once it became like a distance killer stuff like meta. After that point, I feel like it did definitely go down whenever the power creep in it is insane.
Yeah. All right, so Project Zomboid, 7 Days to Die, The Last of Us.
Okay, I'm going to have to put play for The Last of Us because I haven't actually played it, and I know that I've reached a point where I actually could play it since it came out before I ever really played anything. So I was afraid of the controller.
Yeah.
So we'll play that. I will delete Project Zomboid.
Okay.
And then I'll uninstall. What was the third one?
7 Days to Die.
7 Days to Die. I'll
I
uninstall
highly
that.
recommend that, though, if you want to try it.
I think I saw that. I think that was the stream I saw.
Oh, yeah. People have been playing it non-stop. Someone invited me to play later today, so yeah.
Sure, gonna hop right back.
Yeah. So Little Nightmares, the Alien series, and Silent Hills.
So I will Silent Hill, Little Nightmares, and then what was the third one?
The Alien series.
Alien series.
Yeah. The one that has Alien Isolation and those.
Okay. I think I'll play Silent Hill.
Okay.
I will uninstall the Alien series.
Okay.
And I will delete Little Nightmares because I am a heartless person.
No worries. Okay, so now we are out of the horror genre with Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai, and Genshin Impact.
Okay, gotta play Genshin. I'm gonna uninstall the Honkai. And then, actually no, I'll be controversial. I'm gonna delete Honkai because I don't like turn-based and I don't like science fiction. We will uninstall the ZZZ.
Fair enough. Fall Guys, Party Animals, and Chain Together.
Oh god. So I want to try Chain Together. So we'll do play, and then we'll uninstall Party Animals because I also want to try that. And then we will delete. Because I never won anything ever in Fall Guys. So I'm just gonna delete that and pretend I wasn't as bad.
Okay, fair enough. So Pal World, Pokemon, and Temtem.
Oh god. I guess we will.
You have one more Joker, by the way.
Oh, I do? I thought I only had 2.
No, I said 3 Jokers.
I only wrote down 2. Okay. You know what? I will keep them all so that the kids have something to play.
Okay, fair enough. GTA, Saints Row, Cyberpunk.
Okay. So we're gonna do play Saints Row because that one looks really chaotic from anything I've ever seen from it.
Super fun.
I will uninstall GTA and I'm gonna delete Cyberpunk. I will never forgive you, Cyberpunk, for coming out with half-done game. Okay.
I will never forgive Cyberpunk for just trying to do that, but also no offense and no hatred, but I can't handle okay, I'm okay with some first-person games, but Cyberpunk is a lot. You can do first person in GTA, but you can also it's more third person. But Cyberpunk, I've had some communities clash of communities. It reminds me of people I don't want to remember. So
that's fair. That is very fair.
Right.
I respect that.
The last 2, the last 6 are Assassin's Creed, Uncharted, Tomb Raider.
Okay, I'm gonna say play Uncharted because I feel like my personal favorite movies growing up were Indiana Jones. I fucking love Indiana Jones. So uninstall Tomb Raider because I know it's iconic, so I should go back. And I'll just delete the 1 billion Assassin's Creed.
Fair enough.
And
Fair
I'll just
enough.
apologize for that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So the final three are Kingdom Hearts, Persona, Final Fantasy.
Oh God. Okay. Okay. I'll play Persona because I think that's the only one that would interest me personally. And now it's a fight between, do I disappoint all the Kingdom Hearts people or all the Final Fantasy people?
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. You can skip if you want. I don't
would
mind.
skip the rest of it.
All right. All right. This is the mental health segment. In this segment, we'll be talking about mental health and some sensitive subjects. I apologize in advance for any heavy or triggering terms that might be used, not necessarily in this episode, because we've had a lot of morbid subjects in the past, but I'm gonna say this again. Be well aware as you listen, and feel free to either skip or dip out on the segment whenever you feel uncomfortable about some subjects or topics. So tonight's topic is going to be about the burnout, and mental health is not an easy subject to talk about. So I've asked Emmers if she would rather talk about mental health or a life experience. So she chose the topic of a burnout, which is a life experience. A lot of streamers have been dealing, or at some point you will face a burnout. But how is it affecting you specifically?
So specifically for me, it comes from like a little bit of everything. So it comes from like personal life stressors, but also work ones. And then, like, I guess society expectations. So as a librarian, in my exact part of the field, I am a youth librarian, which means I end up doing a lot more, like, people type events. So I do a lot of events. I do a lot of, like, social media stuff and things of that nature, rather than having most of my time be focused on a collection. So that ends up eating up so much of my creative energy, because I'm painting things, I'm making things, I'm planning things. And so by the time I get home, there's not much of that part of me that's left for myself. And then every time I do, I don't know, more people-y things like streaming, which is very fun and I do enjoy it a lot, but anytime you interact with another person as like an introvert, when you're already so low, it just feels like after a while you're just sort of running on fumes and you don't have anything else to give, whether it's to yourself or to other people.
Yeah.
Which is I feel like kind of where I'm at this point with
streaming,
mostly because of work. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is why I try not to reach that point where at some points I feel like, okay, I feel in the mood to stream, but I also don't want to do it because I don't want to have a burnout. So it's okay. I could do most things off stream, and probably I'm right now I am thinking of starting content creation on YouTube, but I don't think, like, there's a little bit of, like, it's not self-esteem or anything, it's just like I don't feel like my voice would be appealing, and I would get a lot of like comments, and I don't want that negativity on the channel, but I'm really willing to do that. So I don't know, at some point I'm gonna probably start doing more playthroughs if I have time and when I have time. But when did you sense, back to the question now, when did you sense that you're having a burnout? Because at some point I've seen you go live constantly, When did that happen? Like, when did that just click?
No, it was mostly talking with people at work because or actually maybe it was somebody's like birthday dinner type of thing.
Yeah.
Where I was talking about how I really wish I just didn't have to work, and how I would like to have other parts of my life like fall in place where I wouldn't have to work as much, so that I have the space to go back to writing, because I haven't done that in like 3 to 4 years now. Because I don't have that emotional bandwidth to sort of just calm down enough to be able to like plan out something or give myself the space to like do more like imaginative work. And then so just the conversation where I was like describing my stress and everything like that, and then somebody was like, are you just maybe burnt out and that's why you don't want to go back to library stuff? And especially since becoming a librarian involves getting a master's degree. So it's like you put in so much time only to have the job for like 5 years. But I'm also kind of like, you know what? We live and we learn and we bounce around. But I think that's kind of like been the end point of me calling it that, or I guess the starting part where because before that it was just like, man, I have no energy to put into any of my creative projects that I really align my identity with, and that then kind of rolls into feeling more down on myself kind of thing, because if my whole identity that I have of myself involves creativity and I'm not doing anything creative, then it's like, well, who am I? Or why am I even doing anything? And then it's just like a lot of trying to figure out what it means or what matters most to me as a person existing. Is it, do I have to constantly be creating? Probably not. Do I have to just enjoy my life and whatever I have the capabilities of doing? Like right now, it's kind of mostly just playing video games and hanging out with my dog, trying to get back into working out. And like, if that's enough to make me happy, then why is it not enough, like capital happy? Like, why is that not enough for me? So it's like one of those things of just kind of like spiraling it all together. And I guess it has to do more with like identity than it has to do with necessarily anything else. Maybe?
Yeah. So Emmers, is there anything else you'd want to add to the episode? Anything else you want to say?
Let's see. I guess in the wrapping it up kind of way, that maybe I would say whatever is making you feel better about existence can't possibly be the worst thing. So if that is playing video games every night for 3 hours and then going to bed and waking up and then doing your job and doing that constantly, if that's making you happy enough to stay in existence, then that should be good enough. One day you'll reach the point where you can go back to having that emotional space to do the thing that makes you really happy. And I think that's the thing I try to remind myself of more often than not.
Honestly, yes. And some people just want to create content. I do tell my friends, like, if you feel like you're not up for it and you force yourself, you're gonna get to a point of like a burnout. So do it whenever you can. And if you see if it's that it's a burden and a hassle, and if you have a little bit of time to spare, you can always just stream, create content, do whatever you want. Yep. Anyways, on this note, thank you so much, Emmers, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Guys, go check Emmers out. It's EMMMM, like 4 M's, ERS. Please check her out on Twitch. Please follow her, show her all the love. Just be there when she streams. Maybe she'll get better, and she'll feel better. Not saying anything bad, like, or in a bad way. Just she'll.
No, you're good.
I hope she's gonna, like, when she feels better, we're all gonna be there. We're always gonna be there, anyways. So go check her out and go show your supports. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Take care of yourselves. Bye.